Hello YouTube, this is Wendy from Language-Enthusiast. I've just put on my makeup, and while I was putting on my makeup, I was videotaping myself. Was I crazy? I still haven't decided if I'm gonna upload the video or not though. My English was terrible when I was videotaping myself while putting on my makeup, and I didn't know how to explain things. Okay, I should have learned more. Okay, but I couldn't do my hair properly because my hair is total helpless now. I don't know what to do with my hair. I don't know, used this one to curl my hair, but it turned out to be just disastrous. So, okay, anyway. What day is it today? I don't know. Maybe 23rd, July 23rd or 24th. The time now is 8, probably 7 or so in the morning. Today I woke up really early as usual, like 4 o'clock a.m. I set my alarm at 4 last night, and even before waking up, during the night, I woke up several times wondering what time it was. Okay, so I don't think that I was having a very good sleep, good quality sleep, high quality sleep. So that's why after finished walking my dogs, I felt a bit groggy, sleepy, tired. First thing in the morning, okay, I woke up at 4, right? But I stayed in bed for 4 or 5 minutes more. Okay, should I say sleep in? Sleep in, what does it mean? I don't know what it means. Okay, I should have looked it up on the English dictionary. I always use. I'm looking downward, right? But I'm not looking at anything. Okay, I should look around like this while thinking about what to say. Okay, because my looking down makes it look like I'm reading something, right? But I have nothing. I have my cosmetics scattered on the table. I really want you to see it, but okay, anyway, I don't think I will be able to speak English very well, or not very well, as well as I usually do. Okay, even though I have been becoming more and more comfortable, it's been more and more comfortable, or I've been feeling more and more comfortable with speaking, but still I'm not a fluent speaker, meaning I can't speak as well as my mother tongue. Yeah, of course, not, it's natural. And because even though it's even in my mother tongue, I cannot speak very well. And okay, anyway, so I'm not looking at anything. Okay, I'm not that type. I'm not good at looking at some memos or something to when I speak. Okay, and this is what I was talking about yesterday in yesterday's video though. Okay, and the time now is 8:78, right? But it's been about 5 minutes already. Yeah, so and I woke up around 4:07 or so, and I didn't have anything. I just drank some water so that I wouldn't get dehydrated. Okay, and but I fed my dog some yogurt and some water so that I wouldn't make them also dehydrated while walking. Okay, and the temperature in my room is maintained at 25 degrees because our air conditioner is partly broken, and I cannot use my remote. Remote is not broken, I think, but the section our air conditioner has, I don't know where it is, but there is this section which receives the signal sent from the remote. Okay, I think that section is broken, and in order to have this fixed, it would cost nearly 20,000 yen, which is pretty costly. Okay, and I could ask someone to fix it for us, but by paying as much money as 20,000 yen. But since the temperature is already high every day, right, on a daily basis, every day, the rainy season finally was over, and now we have summer. At last, the summer, the terrible summer. Okay, it's really, really hot, extremely hot. It's scorching hot outside. Okay, especially for the last few days, it has been terrible. Once I get out, it will kill me. It will kill me. It would kill me. Okay, since it's too hot for me to survive. Okay, but in this room, the room temperature is quite I don't know, cold, and my brain is asleep now because I'm pretty tired now. Okay, but I had to put on my makeup to make myself presentable enough in front of a camera. I'm not speaking English as clearly as I did yesterday. Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm aware of that. Okay, I noticed that. I know that I'm not speaking as clearly as yesterday I did, right? But since my brain is confused now because of my tiredness, grogginess, okay, so it's okay because I have some bad days and some good days, right? I have both my good days and bad days, so I can't help acting the same way, exactly the same way every day, right? Okay, anyway, the weather, it's unbearable. Okay, temperature is too high. Okay, it can't bearable. Okay, and where was I? Yeah, remote control is not broken, but I cannot use the remote at all because my air conditioner can't get the signal. So, but what should I do if I want to turn on the air conditioner and turn off the air conditioner? I can use this button only to be used in times of the emergency button, I should call it. Okay, it is this button called the emergency button, and I can turn on the air conditioner. I can turn off the air conditioner too by pushing the emergency button, but that's all I can do. Okay, I cannot adjust the temperature. I cannot change the function, okay, from cooler to heater or something like that. All I can do is turning turn it on and turn it off. Okay, that's all. And so that's the problem, because the temperature is maintained at 25 degrees, whether it be winter, whether it be summer. Okay, but I really want the temperature to be a little bit higher, a little bit warmer. 25 degrees is too cold for me. Okay, but I just read this article this morning. It says that when you sleep at night, okay, the temperature, the best temperature, the most ideal temperature could be somewhere between 23 degrees and 25 degrees. And I couldn't believe that. I was like, what? What is this article talking about? 23 degrees is a bit too cold for me. So that doctor in this article said that you should wear the same kind of blanket or futon in Japanese. Okay, futon. We call it futon. Okay, you should use the same kind of futon that you would use in winter too, in summer too. Okay, I mean, you should use the same futon in summer too, because the temperature is 23 degrees. It's chilly, right? It's a bit chilly. So, and because to get a very good sleep, your brain should be cooled enough. If your brain is cool enough, okay, you can sleep well. I don't know why. The article says something about it, but I didn't read the whole story because I was too sleepy. At that time, I just woken. I have just woken up. Okay, and I was still sleepy. Okay, and I took out my iPhone and started looking at some web pages. Okay, I was like, is there any news? Okay, and I happened to find that article, and which said that the temperature, ideal temperature, while you're sleeping is somewhere between 23 and 25 degrees, and which made me a bit surprised. And yeah, at night, since it's cool in my living room, I'm sleeping in my living room. It's like my room. Okay, it's quite huge. Okay, and it contains kitchen next to it. Okay, it's very convenient. And since I'm always with my dogs, right? This is the best situation that I can keep my dogs. Okay, and so that's why. But it's open space. It's open space. So meaning that anyone can get in anytime. Okay, it's insecure. Okay, it's not safe. But I only have my daughter to live with in this house, so I don't have any danger. But it's a bit restless. Restless is okay. Restless, and I cannot feel very safe. Yeah, it's safe, I know, but I don't feel secured enough. Because it cannot be total private, right? So I always feel that anyone could see what we are doing, right? It's not very relaxing. Okay, but when my daughter is in her room, we are just private, right? So it's okay. I cannot complain this situation because it's large, it's spacey. I like it very much. So okay, where was I actually? And the temperatures, yeah, outside it's scorching hot. It's scorching hot. I can't believe how hot summer is these days. Okay, and talking about the Japanese basil, I saved from the place under my car. Okay, it's within my space. Okay, our house space. Okay, or there's this word, extinction, not precinct. Okay, it's our place. Precinct, is it okay? Precinct. And I happened to find it under my car. Okay, I happened to find two of them. Okay, and growing on the ground under my car when I was trying to pull out all those weeds, is it okay? Weeds in a small space next to my house. I cannot call it a garden because it's very small, narrow. Okay, my father used to grow some vegetables there though. In summer, several years ago, when he was still alive. Okay, he passed away about 3 or 4 years ago at the age of 87 or so. Okay, anyway, in summer, okay, in the past summer, he grew some vegetables in such a tiny space. Okay, and we had many cucumbers and eggplants and small tomatoes, and he was trying to grow some vegetables like cabbage, but he was not successful because it requires some kind of skill, I guess, and he was not skillful enough. Okay, he was not successful, but during the summer several years ago, we didn't need to buy all those vegetables at stores because those vegetables were there. Okay, they were so helpful, and I happened to find two of the Japanese basil, okay, growing from the ground. And I was so surprised because it was totally unexpected. Okay, I was growing the same kind the year before, I mean last year, and in autumn, okay, they finished the season, okay, and they withered. Is it okay? Withered. They are dead. They died. Okay, but they fell off so many seeds without me knowing, and this spring, the same planter. From the same planter, there were so many buds coming out. Okay, and at first I didn't know that those were the buds from the Japanese basil from last year. I just thought that they were just weeds, so I really wanted to pull them out as soon as possible. But since I'm a procrastinator, I tend to put things off. So I just let it grow until they became 5 centimeters long or so. And by the time I tried to pull them out, I already noticed that there were buds. Okay, they were the buds from the Japanese basil I was growing last year. But I didn't know how to manage to take care of them because there were just too many. Okay, just packed, jammed. Okay, there must have been so many seeds, more than thousands or so, and tons of thousands of buds were coming out at the same time, and I cannot separate them. Okay, I cannot put them apart. So it's a very difficult situation for me, because if you damage their roots, you cannot grow them anymore, right? Roots are the most important part of the plant, and so I didn't know what to do, and eventually I ended up putting everything putting everything in the compost. Okay, I didn't want to waste them, all of them, because they are alive, right? I don't want to kill them, all of them, but I actually tried to save some of them, but since they were just packed, so I couldn't pull them apart, and I was not successful, and I damaged all of them. So instead of throwing them away, I put them all in the compost, and now those buds are part of the soil, very nutritious soil, and I use the soil to grow the 2 Japanese basil I saved from the ground under my car. Okay, and at first I had 2 of them, right? And one is bigger and the other is smaller. Okay, and the smaller one was okay, because I was able to put it out intact. But the bigger one, I had to dig deep to put it out, and I was careful not to damage any of the roots, but I couldn't help damaging some roots somehow, because it was really difficult for me not to damage any of the roots, because it was already roots are, I don't know, deep down. Okay, roots grow deep down, and it was really hot outside, and I was really tired after pulling out all those weeds, in the small space. Even though it was a small space, but pulling up all those weeds took a lot of energy, and I was sweating, and I was covered with sweat all over my body, and sweat was dripping from my head. And now I have short hair, right? Shorter hair, when you have a shorter hair, the sweat easily drops. Okay, sweat easily drops, and because of your hair, it acts like a dam, and it can stop sweat from dropping, falling down, but like raindrops. Okay, but now I have shorter hair, so the sweat directly dropped from the head, and it was obvious. It was really terrible, and I was helpless. I was frantic, so I really wanted to finish it as soon as possible, and I used this I don't know, something that you use to dig soil in the soil. Okay, scoop, is that okay? Shovel, okay, small type of shovel. And but okay, I tried as hard as I could, but it was really difficult. And just after I pulled the bigger one out, it looked okay. It was still fresh, but while I was taking a shower or something, I should have put it in water beforehand as soon as possible, but I didn't do it. I was stupid, I was careless, and by the time I took out from the shower, and it began to wither. Is that okay? Wither. And I was so surprised, and I didn't know what to do. I was at a loss for what to do. And I tried to save it, but it looked just withered, and I thought that it was going to die very soon. At first, I put it in water with a little bit chemical to energize it, okay, but it didn't change a bit, and soon, about a few hours later or so, I tried to put back in soil, okay, but it was still withered, helpless, totally dead, and I thought that it would dead definitely, but I waited for the next few days, and while I put it outside, put the planter with the bigger Japanese basil, looking like dead, okay, withered one, outside, because I thought that it would need some sunshine, okay, but when I know, even though I put it outside so that it could get some sunshine, okay, but it didn't look changed. It looked even worse. So I and my daughter said that, isn't it too hot for it? And okay, then I'll try to take it in the house, which is much cooler, right? And she was right, actually. Okay, ever since I decided to put it inside the room. The room temperature is maintained at 25 degrees, right? And it's a bit cool. And I put it at the window so that it could get some sunshine, okay. And then it began to look, much better. And now it looks back to normal. She was right. I'm happy that I was able to listen to her advice. And okay, now I have two pots, okay. One is for the bigger one, and one is for the smaller one. And the smaller one was very small at first when I pulled it out, but it looked twice as big, okay, in size, in height. And the bigger one, okay, which was about to die, looks very, I don't know, very fine, okay, very fine. And I think it's getting better and bigger and bigger also. And if it gets big enough, then I can take some leaves out and to use for my dish, like relish, okay. I can chop it or thin slice it, and put it on top of my dish, like spaghetti or whatever. It can be used for Japanese food, also Western food like spaghetti or any other. It tastes really good, and it has also great flavor. And when you buy it, that same kind, the leaves, like 10 leaves, okay, at supermarket, it's quite costly. So it's much more ecological if you grow it yourself. And it's very easy to grow it, okay. Last year I bought the small one, okay, but is it okay? But 4 of them, okay. That turned out to be too many, actually, because this small bud, okay, grew into a bigger one, okay, with hundreds of leaves, okay, with just one tree, one plant, okay. And I couldn't use them all, okay, but in autumn it finishes growing, so it naturally ends its season, and after that there will no more, there will no, I don't know, you can no longer have the plant, right? Leaves, okay, vegetable. But just recently I heard this good story, a good news. I was watching some YouTube videos related to growing vegetables. Okay, once I was into gardening, okay, a little while ago, okay. I thought that I was going to be into this subject, I mean gardening, but now I'm not as enthusiastic as I was back then. It was just 2 months ago or so, okay. And because gardening looked really fun, and I tried gardening many times, but I always realize myself that I'm not a good gardener, so I always think that I should not start gardening, okay. But 2 months ago I was watching so many YouTube videos regarding related to gardening, and I thought I was about to get into it again, and okay, and at that time I saw this very interesting video. It's about how to grow Japanese basil, but how to grow it throughout the year. And I was like, what can I do to grow the vegetable which usually ends in autumn naturally, okay, throughout the year? And it would be more helpful for me if I could have the vegetable the whole year, right? Because I don't need to go to supermarkets to get some, which is pretty expensive, okay. Only 10 leaves cost like 200 yen or so. I was so excited to know what it is all about, okay. And I learned that any plant ends in certain season, right? For example, the Japanese basil finishes growing in autumn just because it has a lot to do with when the sun sinks, okay. It has a lot to do with sunset, the time of the sunset, okay. Because the plant outside knows the season because of the sun, okay. How long the sun is out and how long the sun is not out, okay. Because it's nature, right? It's natural, right? And everything is controlled by the sun, okay. It's very interesting, right? So it means that if you put the pot of the Japanese basil inside your house, and the room is still bright even though the sun is down, okay, it's still bright inside the house, right? Then the plant tends to believe that it's still, the sun is out, okay. The sun is still out, okay. So you let it get the time of the day wrong, misunderstood, okay. Am I being understood here? My English is not very good, right? So that's why if you grow the Japanese basil inside your house, you can get all those leaves throughout the year, okay? Because the plant never knows the season. Okay, the leaves, the plant tends to assume that it's still summer. Okay, it's still spring. Okay, I can explain it in English in a more effective way, but you can disguise it or mislead it. Okay, I don't know how to use these words correctly though. Okay, it's very interesting, isn't it? So and because the bigger one stays healthy inside the house in a cooler place, I think that might be because I must have damaged some roots and it's not totally healthy yet. So that's why it's weak, a bit weak, and it's vulnerable now. So that's why if I put it outside, the sun is too strong, right? And it's not good for the plant yet. It's not totally healthy yet. It hasn't gotten back to its original state yet. So that's why it's better for the plant to stay inside because it's cooler. It's the environment is kinder to it. I think that's the reason why it grows healthily inside the house, I think. But I'm very fortunate. I feel very fortunate to know that I was finally able to save the plant in a real sense, because just after I pulled them out, okay, to save, I thought that I had saved them, but actually if my pulling out the plant would mean that would kill the plant, I don't think is the real meaning of I save them, right? I saved them, right? So that's why I'm now feel really fortunate, and I'm happy that I really saved them now. And I'm looking forward to collecting. Is it okay? Collecting, or I don't know, harvesting their leaves from now to use them for my cooking. Okay, I'm pretty tired now, and I've been talking for about 38 minutes. And speaking about English, okay, I've just watched a very interesting video. It's made by this YouTuber, who is one of my favorite YouTubers, called Connor, and he is not the same Connor that I often talk about in my videos. Okay, his name is spelled like Conner, not OR at the end. Okay. I've been knowing this YouTuber. I've known of this YouTuber for quite some time. Okay. And his style of doing his videos is like the one I'm doing right now, like prompt to speech. He has some keywords to talk about in front of him, and he put a camera in front of him, and he now uses a microphone, okay, so that his voice can sound very clearly, okay. But he just starts talking, and he thinks about what to talk about as he speak. And this is the best style for me at the moment. Okay, now the more I get used to speaking in front of a camera like this, the more particular I have been becoming about the style of YouTubers. I mean, style of talking that those YouTubers do. I mean, now I don't like videos like sound very robotic, like scripted ones, okay? Because they are scripted, okay, they never make mistakes, right? They never get stuck, right? In this way, I can learn how to say things, okay? I can use such videos in order to learn how to speak English, okay? I can learn natural expressions, I can learn the whole correct sentences, but they sound too robotic for me at the moment, okay? And I can't put up with listening to such videos now, okay? I no longer can put up with listening to those videos because they sound too robotic, okay? But now I prefer watching videos, or not listening to those videos, but even I prefer watching those videos because, I mean, impromptu speech, okay? Videos in which people speak without any preparation, and so they speak as they think, okay? It's very interesting, and it's very helpful for me to learn how to cope with difficult situations in which like I get stuck, okay? How to manage those difficult times myself, all right? And if I can watch them speaking like this, okay, impromptu speech, I can understand how, I mean, frustrated they might feel by looking at their face, right? By looking at their facial expressions. And even though they are native speakers, they can get stuck, okay? They might get stuck. And when they get stuck, they seem to be a bit frustrated, and I don't know how to say this. They seem to be under pressure, okay? And some people don't like to get stuck, and some people don't like to put themselves under pressure, right? Under such pressure. So that's why they're talking. They think that it would be better for them to make their script. I don't know. So that's why they would feel that it would be better for them to prepare everything they are going to talk about, right? But I feel it's too artificial and robotic, and I don't like it anymore. But some people don't want to put themselves under such pressure, right? I understand that, but it's not interesting to see, right? Even though native speakers, even though they are native speakers, they might get stuck and they might feel pressured, right? And but if it's an impromptu speech, then you can see how they manage to get out of their situations, difficult situations. It's what makes their videos interesting. Those impromptu speech very interesting. So it should be videos, okay? It should be a video rather than just a podcast, okay? Because you can see them fluttering, or floundering, I don't know. Okay, I can learn a lot from watching them struggling, okay, because I'm doing the same thing, similar thing, even though my English is not as perfect as theirs, right? Okay, anyway, and Connor, right? He always makes his prompt to speech, okay, in his videos, but he speaks rather slowly, so that his viewers can understand, right? So this part is a bit unnatural, and this sounds a bit unnatural to me though, but then I can make it faster by changing the function of YouTube, right? I mean speed, right? And anyway, and he said that there are three things that makes English a very difficult language to learn. Okay, one is I don't know, irregularity. Okay, because spelling and pronunciation are not consistent, right? They're quite different, right? Spelling and pronunciation, right? You cannot guess its pronunciation by just looking at the spelling, right? It's one of the things that make English a bit difficult language or challenging language to learn. Okay, and the second is a phrasal verbs. Okay, phrasal verbs. There are so many phrasal verbs which consist of two or three or more words, right? Yeah, phrasal verbs seem to be a bit daunting for us English learners, okay, because sometimes phrasal verbs, not sometimes, but all the phrasal verbs consist of this one big main word and plus not adjective, but preposition, right? Like bring up, right? Bring can be used itself, right? But you have to put up, right? Put up, this preposition up at the end, and it creates a totally different meaning, right? So it's kind of confusing, but he says that you should consider phrasal verb just one word, okay? It's not about two or three words putting together, no, because you have to use them as they are, right? So you should consider it one big word, okay? And the last thing he mentioned was that something that makes English a bit challenging for people to learn is that pronunciation, okay? It's stress time, okay? He said that the stress time, because English has English word, okay, English word and English sentences, okay, has some very stressed place and unstressed places, right? And you have to distinguish them clearly, meaning that you cannot pronounce the same word in the same way, right? And even one word has some stressed points and unstressed points, right? And it's very obvious, and unlike Japanese or Spanish, which are syllable-based language, okay, syllable-based language. But English is unlike these Spanish and Japanese. It's a stressed-based language. So when you put a stress on a certain place, you should make it long longer, okay, not only you have to, okay, you not only put stress on it, I mean, make it sound bigger, okay, but also you have to make it longer, okay, and but places that are not stressed should be pronounced like shorter and shorter, right? Shorter and it's very obvious. And but like Japanese speakers and Spanish speakers are not used to putting such stress on certain places, okay, basically we cannot pronounce English like native speakers do because it's very complicated, okay, it's very complicated. And so that's why he said that every time he listens to someone who speaks great English start speaking English, and even though at first he or she sounds like a native speaker, but after, let's see, 30 seconds or so, he can pick up some places that are not pronounced entirely correct or efficiently like native speakers do, and he can pick up those places here and there, and very tiny, very slight nuances though, and he can understand, he can tell that, oh, this person is not a native English speaker. And even though someone speaks great English, but he can tell, okay, he's a native English speaker, that's why he can tell the slight difference, slight nuances, and he says so. And I understand that. Even I'm Japanese, and we speak Japanese differently depending on the place, right? And we can call it probably accent, or I don't know, local accent, and even among the same Japanese people, we cannot pronounce the same Japanese language in the same way. Some people from a different region pronounce the same thing differently, right? And we can guess, well, we can tell this person might be from a different region, or something like that. It's very obvious, and it's very slight, right? And so that's why every time I listen to non-Japanese speakers speak Japanese, and most of the times they cannot distinguish the words, these two words. One is 病院, hospital, and 病院 is a beauty parlor, okay? 病院 and 病院might sound totally the same to them, but these words sound totally different to us, okay? And it's slightly different, okay? The pronunciation is slightly different, but we can distinguish the difference, right? Because we are native speakers. We have been using this word, we have been listening to these words so many years, and even Japanese kids can distinguish the difference between 病院 and 病院, and those two words are complicated but totally different words for us, okay? We can hear differently, okay? This happens to the same people, right? Like same people from the same country. So it can be more obvious to like to native speakers and non-native speakers, right? So that's why he says that he says almost the same thing that I was saying in yesterday's video, but you shouldn't set your goal to a very unrealistic place. Like you shouldn't set unrealistic goal because it's too far away, and try not to pronounce this exactly the same way as native speakers do, but you should be well aware of this, and it's okay at the moment, because if you notice the difference, if you know that there are some differences, okay, you might have noticed, okay, without knowing it, and then you are aware of this, you are better aware of this, right? And it can give you the opportunity to learn more, to make you better, right? So I feel the same way. So when you hear that no matter how much you tried, no matter how hard you try, you cannot sound like a native speaker, it might sound a bit intimidating for you and disappointing for you, right? But you don't have to feel this way, because it's totally natural, and it can happen to people living in the same country, right? Depending on the region, we can pronounce even the same word differently, right? We can guess that this person, yeah, I said this already, but you can guess that this person is from a different region, different part of the country, by hearing the person speaking, right? And it's not totally the bad thing, right? Because we can communicate with each other, right? And sometimes our accents can be too strong to communicate with each other. Yeah, it happens. But when it comes to English and mother tongue, and when it comes to what is happening to English learners and English, okay, it doesn't need to be something that makes you feel disappointed, because it's totally natural, right? Rather, I think that in my case, I think I should pay more attention to how clear, okay, my speech can sound, like the way I deliver my speech, or yeah, it has a lot to do with grammar also, because if your grammar is messy, too messy, it can be stressful for the other person to understand you, right? So your grammar, the better your grammar is, the much better, right? I think so. And what you talk about is the most important thing, right? A message, whether or not you have a strong message or not, right? This is very important, and this makes you someone influential, right? So that is why I try to, from now on, I'm not a big fan of news, okay, but I'm thinking of reading more news to know about, not only about what's happening in the world, but also what's happening in our country, so that I can explain what's happening in our country more to people all over the world, okay? Because when you use English, you can communicate with the people all over the world, right? That's the advantage of learning English, right? Then you should know more about your own country. You should know more about many things, okay, and you are interested in, and so that you can deliver your message to people through English, right? So the topic and the message is the most important. And English is just a tool to convey your message, right? So that is why it's better for you to use the tool very well, right? It's easier for you to deliver your message, right? So that's why in my case, I don't think that my learning English never ends. It'll continue as long as I live, because I really want to be a better messenger, okay? Better speaker, right? To deliver my message in a more efficient way, in a better way, okay? So that's why I will continue learning, because I love languages. It's fun. It's pure fun, okay? So, and now I can speak English this much, okay? And I don't think I can do it perfectly or something. No. But still, I can enjoy talking about what I really want to talk about in English. In my foreign language, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. But now I can do it, okay? Because I've been continuing this, okay? I never gave up. So that's why it's rewarding. So at this point, it's rewarding. So that's why, and this is something that I couldn't even imagine I would be doing in the future. Back then, I mean, when I was 28, when I started studying English from scratch. So that's why, even though I still have a long way to go, I still have many things that I can not do effortlessly, okay? But still, at this point, I feel really rewarded. It's okay, rewarded. I really want to be proud of myself, okay? I've been continued this journey until today without giving up. It's a very difficult thing, okay? Because language learning takes time, as I always say here and there in my videos, okay? But I really want to stick to it as long as I live. And after English, I really want to improve more my Spanish, right? And after that, I really want to go back to my Chinese learning, because I really love the sound of Chinese. I'm a music person, right? And I used to play the piano in a band, and now, as you can see, there's a piano. But finally speaking, I stopped playing the piano about 2 months ago somehow, because I got busy because I started taking my dogs to our trimming salon 2 or 3 times a day, and it made my life much busier. So now I never play the piano again, but I really love playing the music instruments like guitar and the piano. So I love the sound, okay, and I consider foreign languages as music, okay. That's why I love the sound of Spanish, I love the sound of Chinese, so that's why I'm learning it, and I really want to make the similar sound, like musicians copy their favorite artists, right? Just like them, I really want to copy native speakers, beautiful sounds, but I'm not saying that I admire all the native speakers. Some native speakers speak too fast, too vaguely, and no, I'm not a big fan of them. Okay, big fan of theirs. Okay, I like people. I like people whether it be native speakers or non-native speakers. No, it doesn't matter. I love people who speak very beautiful English. Okay, and if they are non-native English speakers, I would admire even more because they are doing great. They are doing their great job, right? I can admire them even more. I really wanted to be like them, actually, rather than native English speakers. Okay, so I like people who can speak more than 2 or 3 languages because they are a lot of fun. There, I respect such people. Okay, that's why I really want to be like them myself. Okay, I want to be trilingual at least, and I forgot the word to describe person who can speak 4 languages. Okay, quadro something, right? Because quadro has a lot to do with 4, right? Okay, so that's why in 10 years at least I will be 70, but I really want to speak at least 4 languages, including my mother tongue, Japanese, and now at last I began to feel that the Spanish is very natural to me. I mean, when I was watching Spanish-related YouTube videos, and not all day long, because I spend more time on listening to English than Spanish at the moment, because I really want to improve my English at this stage. Okay, at this stage, I have to spend more time to listening to English, reading English, because it takes time to get the next stage, like from upper intermediate to advanced. Okay, it's very crucial. It's a very crucial moment, and I really have to take a lot of time and energy and concentration. So it's very crucial now at the moment, so I have to spend lots of time. But for about 1 or 2 hours, okay, a day, I let YouTube on. Okay, I leave YouTube on, and I keep listening to Spanish, as much Spanish as possible. And then Spanish doesn't sound like a foreign language to me. It's becoming more and more natural to me because I always listen to Spanish, right? It's not as familiar as English to me, but it sounds pretty familiar to me. And it's no longer a foreign language to me. It's always there. And it's very important, I think, to make your foreign language your second nature, because it's always there for you, right? And it makes you feel normal, right? So that's why comprehensible input is very important in this aspect. You listen to a lot of your foreign language to make it your second nature, and you can understand them 90%, 95%, and it's easy for you, and your brain can absorb information in the most effective way, right? Because you're feeling relaxed, and you can understand most of them. and it's really comfortable for you, and it's the best situation in which you can absorb your foreign language the best way. Okay, the best. Okay, so I think that's about it for today, and I'm always looking for something that I want to talk about in this video, but once I start speaking in my video, at that moment, okay, I don't have anything in my mind. So while I'm speaking like this, I really have to come up with something, some information that I got in the past, like early this morning or yesterday or last night or something. It's a bit hard because I have to use my brain to look for information, right? But it's good practice for me, because sometimes I feel paralyzed, impaired, okay, because my brain doesn't function as fast as I wish it to, and it makes me feel paralyzed, okay. It makes me feel dumb, and it makes me feel numb also. It makes me feel totally helpless and unintelligent, but I really have to go through these difficult moments to get used to this language, okay. So that's why I do it every day, and I don't want my speech to be scripted, because this is totally unnatural to me at this stage, okay. I used to do only scripted speech, okay, because I was just afraid of making mistakes, and I didn't know what to do when I got stuck, okay. But now this is the best situation for me, and yeah, sometimes I was totally helpless. I could be totally helpless, and sometimes I feel totally stupid. I sound totally stupid, and some people might think that oh, you should prepare beforehand so that you can speak it in a better way or something like that. Yeah, I understand that, but this is a place where I find something that I can't do, okay, not I can't do, okay. So if in this video, if I can do everything smoothly, this doesn't mean anything to me. So this is the place where I find something that I can't do, okay, I'm not good at, so that I can get them better, okay. So I really hope that you understand why I'm speaking this way. They might feel that I could do better by preparing. Well, that's not right for me at the moment, okay. But in the future, I'm not sure. In the future, I really want to make the most of my opportunities speaking English. So now I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about is, one of the things that I'm thinking about is to use to make the most of my time is to videotape myself while I'm cooking or I'm doing some housework, okay. For example, I'm putting the garbage into my compost. I can explain what I'm doing in English, right? It can be good practice. But having my iPhone with my left hand, for example, and cutting the vegetable with my right hand is very difficult for me to do, right? And so I think I could buy a camera that I can place here, attached to my head, okay. and so that I can use my both hands. I'm not sure, but I'm just thinking about it. And the more I think about this, the more clear, right? The more clear it gets, and I can visualize it more clearly, right? And then I can make it happen in the end. So I'm not trying to force myself to do anything at the moment. I just let it happen, okay? But I try to visualize what I want to do in my head always, okay? So like I videotaped myself while I'm doing something else, okay? Is one thing. Another thing, okay, I might, in the future, if I get more used to speaking English in front of a camera in a more effective way, then I can talk about Spanish learning, okay, in English, like the textbooks I find very useful while studying English, studying Spanish. I can introduce those books in my videos, right? And anything else. Anyway, there are many things that I can do in the future, and they are still up in the air, okay? Everything is still up in the air, but it's not that I just imagine them, okay, and I feel satisfied with it. No, I'm just keep thinking. I just keep thinking about them, and if I get ready, okay, when I get ready, it happens. I know that, so that's why I'm not pushing myself too hard now. I just let things happen, okay? But I'm at the same time, I'm not trying to take the most the laziest way. Like I don't do nothing, okay? I do nothing, but things will happen. No, I'm not talking about this. I can do whatever I can at the moment. I make the most effort, okay? I make a lot of efforts doing whatever I can do now, but in the future, I don't know. I don't know how to say this in English. Okay, I have a lot of things in my head, but now I'm doing whatever I can do now. Okay, and the other things, about the other things, the time comes. I mean, when I get ready, things will happen eventually. So I know that. So I cannot explain it more with my words, but you'll see. Okay, I'm going to do more things in the future, and I cannot say what they are now, but I will start doing some of those things in the future, in the very near future. But I'm not ready yet, and I'm not pushing myself to make them happen now. Okay, that's about it for today, and I really hope that you are having your very fantastic week, okay, your fantastic day, whatever, okay, wherever you are, okay, and if you are still there, you're a very unique person. You are a very unique person, because almost nobody wants to watch my video to the end. So you are a very lucky person, And I'm sure that you're very unique and you're a very successful person as well, because I say something important here and there. Okay, so I really hope that you won't miss this opportunity. And okay, I really hope that I'll talk to you soon, tomorrow again. So until then, bye for now.